Well, good morning. Welcome to the homestead. Well, this morning I've started off doing something terribly exciting. Not. I have these really big bags of tea bags, and they are loosely packed. And I don't want to have to worry about all these, staying fresh. So what I'm doing is that I'm individually sealing them up in my seal-a-meal and putting them in just small packages of like about 10 bags a piece or so, and so then I can store them down in the pantry, and I think that'll be so much better. Let me show you my loot so far. So as you can see, I've got all these individual packages. This right here is hibiscus tea, and I got some lemon balm tea, and I've got some dandelion tea. A bunch of these weird teas. Teas are supposed to be really healthy for you, and they're supposed to help with various different things that are going on in your body, like pain or high blood pressure or cholesterol, or even blood sugars, to manage blood sugars. And so I thought, especially in the winter, I love to drink tea, so why not make tea, add some of these teas to maybe even iced tea that are healthy for us. They kind of taste weird in the beginning, but I think I can get used to them, because I much rather use something healthy and natural than, I guess, the manufactured pills or vitamins, since many of them aren't even regulated. And according to John F. Kennedy Jr., I think it's Robert F. Kennedy Jr., that guy, according to him, there's a lot of bad stuff happening with our food industry. And so, I don't know, should I believe it? Why not? Couldn't hurt to believe it. If you're growing your own food and you're doing your own stuff, and you're buying tea bags instead of manufactured vitamins, it's got to be better for you. I mean, it can't hurt. And we're not getting any younger. And you may be watching and you might be young, but you're not getting any younger. You're getting older. And so might as well start when you're ahead. And so I bought a bunch of variety, like I said, of these weird teas. These aren't the only ones that I bought. These are just the only ones that came in really gigantic packages instead of individual boxes. And so, what the heck, right? Anyway, that's what I'm doing this morning. Follow along. This trying to get healthy thing that I've started, I actually started it when the doctor told me that I had high cholesterol and I had to go on medication, because I don't want to live the rest of my life on medications. And they also said I was pre-diabetic, so I needed to change that with my diet. So that's where all this has come from. It's the fact that I just don't want to live my life on medications. I haven't had to, and I don't want to. Although I do have to take heartburn medicine every single day, and have for about 10 years because of a hiatal hernia. And but that is what it is. But I don't want to take all the rest. The doctor, though, said that I may have to take the cholesterol medicine whether I want to or not, because it's inherited cholesterol, high cholesterol. So someone in my family gave it to me, and you can't manage it with food. We already tried that, and it didn't work. So anyhow, thus trying to get healthier with tea bags. I'm gonna leave the rest in here so they're readily available to drink, and then I'm gonna store these, but I'm not gonna just throw a bunch of these loose things in there, because what do I do with them? So I need to find a container to put these in so they sit nicely on one of the shelves down there instead of just loosely tea bags. So I have some of those plastic shoe boxes. I just need to go find them. And then I can put them in the plastic shoebox. They're clear, and I can see that they're there. I can put them up on the shelf. There we go. On to the next task. Okay, I'm standing in the garden, and I'm testing, and everything's super dry. And we just watered, not yesterday, but the day before. So what happened is that during the time I was ill and not able to come, which would have been about 2 full weekends and midweek, where I usually water, things got a little too dry, and now having trouble getting it back to where it was moist. So things are really starting to stress here in the garden. That pumpkin is just really having trouble. It really is having trouble. I put tulle on the outside edge to try to keep it, but I just tested it, and that bin is dry as a bone. So I'm gonna really need to soak it even deeper than I did 2 days ago. And I've got some tomatoes that are about ready to be picked, so I'll pick them today. And I'm gonna pull all the cucumbers, and I'm gonna plant more cantaloupe and more watermelon right where the other ones are growing, because fresh vines will come up, and I'll pull the old vines as they die off. I've already pulled some of the watermelon, but we have some watermelon still growing over there, so I don't want to mess with them too badly. It might even be better to put them somewhere else, but they did real well there. And then I got a couple more watermelon over here that I need to, oh, beautiful butterfly over there. Anyway, I need to keep watching. I got one watermelon growing over here on that rack. I see the potatoes are starting to come up over here on the rack, so I want to make sure that they stay moist but not wet. And I'm pulling all of those cucumbers because that was a bust. The whole cucumber thing was a bust. I've already pulled all the corn, and I'm going to replant something there. I've got these little starts, these little tomato starts. They've got to get planted, and so I'll plant them somewhere, and maybe we can have some tomatoes before end of season. I might be pushing the envelope a little bit on replanting stuff right now, but I don't know. We're going to be gone at the end of October and the beginning of November when the first frost hits, so it's a possibility I can plant all these things. They don't come due until we're gone those 20 days, and during that 20 days everything comes ripe and we end up losing everything by the time we get back. That's the possibility too. So anyway, I don't know. I do know I found my gloves so I can work inside of the prickly things like the cantaloupe and the well, even the cucumbers and the squash, the zucchini, without getting too prickly. Even the pumpkins are prickly, and so I can wear these on my arms and avoid getting that terrible rash from those little stickers. Anyway, these bananas are doing awesomely big, awesomely well. Look at this, and you see this. Anyway, if I can keep them alive, we'll have bananas next year. But can I keep them alive through the dead of the winter? I got 2 inside, 2 outside, and the stalks on those banana trees are really big. So hopefully we'll get bananas next year, and they won't just be ornamental. They're growing in these buckets, which I think they need more root space than that. These trees are supposed to get like 10 to 30 feet depending on which ones I bought. I might have bought the dwarf, if that's the case, about 10 feet tall, and but I don't know that they're going to do it before winter. I don't know. They usually say it takes about a year to produce bananas, and so going through this winter things are going to get really bad, die back or whatever. I can get some frost covers and really try to keep the buckets nice and warm, but it gets darn right cold here. I'm not sure if it was last year or the year before, but it got to 7 degrees. 7. bananas will not last in 7 degrees. They'll barely last when it hits frost line. So anyway, I got a lot of stuff to do here in the garden today, and I need to really make sure that things get deeply, deeply, deeply watered, because it's going to be several days before we get back, and as we see, they're already stressing. They won't be able to handle going long periods of time without getting that extra water if I don't deep water them today. And sometimes overwatering is better than underwatering. I don't know. Anyway, let's get busy in this garden. So, pulling these old beans. I got new beans growing inside the tunnel, so we should be good there. I'm using these baskets over the cover, so when I grow the things that are sprouting, the rabbits don't get it, because I had some carrots growing over there and somebody got into these buckets. I don't know if it was a rabbit or one of those pack rats or what, but somebody got into these buckets, so I just put them over the top so the growth can start growing. So basically, out of the 4 grapevines, only one's growing. Out of the 2 berries, one is growing. So that's kind of an expensive loss, because they were like, I think they were like $8.95 a piece for the stock, and so we've lost 4, and gosh, that's almost 40 bucks. So hopefully this one will continue to grow, and that one will continue to grow, and next year I'll replant the other 3 grapevines and the other berry over here. And hopefully that'll work real well. We need to get the fence line done, because once we get this fence line put up, I can use the fence for my berries to grow on. I think the word is anaerobic, and the dirt has gone anaerobic, which means it's not retaining the water because of those days that I wasn't here to water. And so unfortunately, a lot's leaking out the bottom, but it's not penetrating the soil in there. So I'm gonna give it a minute, and then I'm gonna water again, and then water again, and then water again if I have to get that soil really, really nice and wet all the way through. So give these tomatoes a chance, because if I don't, the stuff in the bottom is just super dry, and it's never gonna give the water that's needed for these tomatoes to grow. So I'm gonna keep working on it. There's so many weeds, grass growing up around the edges of these things. I think I need to go get the weed eater, get out here, maybe even the hand lawnmower, and take care of that. As I'm watering, I'll drip water some of these. I get the hose and just kind of drip it. Okay, my whole dripping idea isn't working. It's flooding outside the bins because too much water is going in there, but it's not absorbing, I guess. So now I got big puddles. Oh well. I'm gonna pull out all these cucumbers here, and I'm going to thin down some of the dead leaves on the back side of the zucchini so I can plant seeds and my little seedlings. Okay, that was a lot of work. I'm gonna pick that up again tomorrow because it's getting late. I'm getting super tired, and so we'll be back in the morning, lickety split, to work in the garden.